welcome in to the KO Brothers DFS podcast. This is week 11, DFS, KO Brothers. Jonathan, how are we doing today?
I'm good. How you doing?
Great.
How you feeling about the slate?
I love it, other than quarterback. Actually, I think it's a really tight slate. Not too much value. I do have some value at wide receiver, a little bit at running back. I do think it's a very tight slate. Very narrow at quarterback this week. Now, generally, we jump right into it, but I do want to announce the winner. Maybe I tricked you guys, thought we were going to hop right into it, but we're not. We are going to announce the winner. The winner is JaredMerrill. You are officially the winner of the Randy Moss Authentic Jersey. Now, Mr. JaredMerrill, I need you to leave in the comment section or email us at kobrothers2018@gmail.com. I will leave that in the description. Send us an email, give us your contact information, and we will get this jersey out to you as soon as possible. Congratulations. And I do want to say to all you DFS players out there, lately I switched up my strategy on DFS, and I want to enlighten you guys, and that is play heads up. Play heads up contest. Now, the first couple times I played heads up, I got discouraged because I played that person that had that perfect roster, and they scored 180 points. But you know what? I stuck with it, and I am maximizing my winnings by just playing heads up contest. Instead of playing double ups or triple ups, I play heads up. I play 5 of them, and if you can only afford $10 or $20 or $50, $100, whatever you're playing, play heads up and pick your pick the person you want to play against. Find that person who only has 1 or 2. Don't play the guy who has 50 different lineups. Play the person that has 1 or 2 different lineups. I'm telling you, you will watch your bankroll dramatically increase. I started with $50, and in 3 weeks, I went from $50 to almost $400 just in 3 weeks' time, just by playing heads up. Last week, I had 111 points. Now, that ain't going to win if you were in a double up or a triple up or whatever. I beat him. Heads up. $50 heads up, I won $90, and I only scored 111 points. So, play heads up contest. That's my tip this week for you DFS players out there. Play heads up. I'm telling you, you will watch that bankroll climb. Don't play 1, like I said. Play 3, 4, 5. Same amounts, different amounts. Doesn't matter. Pick the player, and I'm telling you, watch that bankroll climb. Let's jump into it. This is week 11. We are going to start at the quarterback position. The position that I really don't like, at least for cash game wise. Johnny, where are we starting at quarterback this week for week 11?
If I'm paying up for a quarterback I really like is Cam Newton. I mean, he's playing Detroit, who has not been good against the quarterback. Mitch Trubisky threw for 355 yards and 3 touchdowns on only 30 passing attempts last week. And Cam Newton, he doesn't throw the ball that much, but he still always has that fantasy value.
I do like that take on Cam Newton. However, there's honestly only 2 quarterbacks I feel comfortable playing in cash this week, and that's Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz. Dak Prescott, 7,400 on FanDuel. 5,200. Wow. Jeez. I didn't even think he was that cheap on DraftKings. He's 5,200 on DraftKings. And Carson Wentz, who's 7,700 on FanDuel and 6,300 on DraftKings. Those are honestly the only 2 players I'm looking at in cash. Dak Prescott, last 4 games, he's averaging 21.7 fantasy points. He's getting more comfortable with Cooper. He's actually starting to run the ball. And Atlanta, we all know what Atlanta is with the defense. They have let up at least 20 fantasy points to a quarterback every single week except for Alex Smith. And Alex Smith still got 16 points. And Carson Wentz, Saints defense, great against the run, but they can't stop anyone against the pass. The last 5 games, he had over 300 yards and over 2 touchdowns, averaging 22 fantasy points. I think those two are elite plays in cash, and frankly, the only 2 places I really feel comfortable at in cash, because I do think you do need to try to save a little bit of money this week with running back and wide receiver, and even tight end being kind of tight this week. So I kind of want to pay down for quarterback, especially on DraftKings at Dak Prescott being 5,200. I mean, that's a smash play right there. So what else at the quarterback position?
You're talking about saving money. I like Eli Manning this week. He's 6,700.
Okay, now he's on my list. You don't think he's a G? We're talking. Is he GPP or cash? Because I specified cash quarterbacks. You're going to trust Eli Manning in cash?
Yes.
Okay, he's on my list for GPP. I think he's a fantastic GPP play. And in fact, I'm not starting a GPP roster without playing. I'm stacking all the Giants in GPPs. Cash, I don't know if you can trust Eli in cash. But go ahead.
What's Eli's biggest problem?
The offensive line.
Exactly. And Tampa Bay has only got to the quarterback. They rank 23rd in sacks this year, so that's not going to be a problem. They have
it's still a major problem. Their offensive line. They still have to get Eli out running, but
obviously
they did it last week. They did do it last week. I got to see more.
They're coming off the bye. He actually looked good last week throwing the ball. And Tampa Bay, they're a terrible defense. They're 3rd in the touchdown percentage.
They're bottom 5 in almost every category.
Yeah, they're 4th worst in yards per game, and they have the highest completion to the quarterback at 73.1%.
All right. I mean, look, I like Eli. I like the way they're finally using him. I mean, Barkley takes a lot of pressure off him. I just don't know if I can pull the trigger in cash. But as far as GPP goes, I agree with everything you said. I think he's a smash play in GPP. I don't think you can have a GPP roster without him. Do you have any other cash plays? GPP plays?
Pretty much. I mean, I do like Deshaun Watson this week. I know it's
cash or GPP. He's on my GPP list. We were pretty close this week with quarterback. He's on my GPP list. I mean, he's the 25th. He's facing the 25th ranked defense against the pass. He's only 7,800 on FanDuel. He's 5,700 on DraftKings. That's insanely cheap, and he's averaging 25 fantasy points the last 2 weeks. So I just think he's like I said, a GPP play. He has been injured.
Yeah, he's been in a slump lately, but the bye helped that too.
Which is exactly why I think he's a smash GPP play. Because if he goes off and scores 40 points this week, because he's finally healthy, you want that guy in your GPP. And let's say he isn't still healthy. We don't know. Like I said, I'm only trusting those 2 quarterbacks in cash. But as far as, like I said, GPP, Eli, Deshaun Watson, I think Drew Brees is a very good GPP play. And the only reason why I have Drew Brees in the GPP conversation is because of the running backs. The running backs can vulture him, and they can combine for 4 touchdowns in any week, and Drew Brees ain't going to do shit. So I think he's a GPP play.
GPP, you like Lamar Jackson at all? Or RG3?
I personally think Flacco's starting. Have you heard any news?
He said he's unlikely.
He's unlikely to play. Okay, last I heard that he was still on the fence, and I just
practiced 3 weeks in a row. So they're like,
3 days in a row.
3 days in a row, yeah. That's not good.
So if let's say Flacco doesn't play, I actually think that's an upgrade for
the whole team.
Ravens, but I think it's an upgrade for the running game. And if Flacco's not playing, we're going to talk more about that scenario in the running backs. But as far as quarterbacks go, if he doesn't play, I just think it's going to be too popular in cash and too untrustworthy. GPPs, why not? Why not throw in a GPP lineup? But no, cash. If any one of them, RG3 can start. What if Lamar Jackson comes out and totally is a disaster? They like RG3. So
they said they might use both of them too. So I mean,
so you can't trust that in cash. Yeah. So it's a GPP only play. But I am off that situation. Like I said, I thought Flacco was playing last I heard. So I just think that's a mess right now, and I don't think you know who's playing. I don't think they know who's playing.
I'm gonna throw Lamar Jackson in a few lineups just because.
Few what?
Few GPP.
GPP lineups?
Yeah, not in cash. Definitely not in cash.
I mean, he's probably min salary. What is he? He's probably min. I mean,
he's 7. He's cheaper. He's more expensive than Eli. 7,000.
Okay, I got them right there. Both 4,700. RG3 and Lamar Jackson. They're actually more expensive than Carr. Two backups are more expensive than Derek Carr. I don't trust it, but 4,700 on DraftKings, you really can't go wrong. I just think it's a little untrustworthy. When you guys are looking at the quarterback position, okay, if you pay up for a quarterback, you want at least 25 fantasy points. So when you're looking for a quarterback, if you're paying up, you want 25. If you're not paying up, you want 20 points. The way the quarterback position is, you need at least 20 points out of your quarterback. And like I said, 25 you pay up. So you got to ask yourself, do you really think Lamar Jackson or whoever, Eli Manning, whoever, in cash, you need to score 20 points? Because that's a minimum you need. If you do not score at least 20 points out of the quarterback position, you're severely behind the eight ball. I mean,
I could just see him doing that just because him and RG3 both have feet. I mean, Lamar Jackson probably run better than
They can
RG3
run one in.
He's been banged up a little
Sure.
year.
I mean, why not? GPPs, you can kind of go in any direction you want to go in GPPs. That's the beauty of it. Me personally, like I said, I'm more of a cash game player, and now I'm a heads up. I turned into a heads up player, so I'm definitely staying away from both of them. But like I said, GPP, why not? You want to throw Luck, you want to throw Fitz. I got them down on my GPP list as well. Luck's at home, fast-paced offense, over 30 attempts per game. Fitz, over 40 attempts his last 2 weeks. Giants, so pass defense, so, you can kind of go nuts in GPPs. But as far as cash goes, like I said, I'm only on Dak and Wentz. Anything else, quarterback, before we move on to the running back position?
That's good for me, man.
All right, so we will jump right into it. Let's continue that Ravens conversation.
Alex Collins.
I think Alex Collins is a smash play this week. Some would say, we talked before the podcast, and I think we can, for the first time in the show, we've only had 5 episodes, I think we can do a combined KO pick, and I think our combined KO pick is Alex Collins this week.
Definitely.
John Lynn's on Alex Collins. I know we talked earlier and I had to crunch a little bit of numbers. Bengals I tried to find a stat to help them, and I couldn't. I could not find a stat to help the Bengals. They are bottom 5 in every category, and they're almost bottom 3 in every single category that I looked at. Harbaugh is coaching for his job, and you're going to give it. Their best player is Alex Collins, so they're going to give it to Alex Collins.
That's ridiculous. Harbaugh should not be coaching for his job, though.
Well, you know what? They say that he is coaching for his job. He is a fantastic coach. I agree with you 100%. But they do say that he is coaching for his job. And you know what? I don't think the team wants that. Like, in the Hugh Jackson situation, they wanted that. They wanted him to get fired. I don't think they want Harbaugh to get fired. So I see them running the ball 30 to 35 times in this game, and Alex Collins getting a minimum of 15 to 20 touches in that matchup. I think it's an absolutely great cash play.
Yeah, Baltimore's probably going to be up because the Bengals are really nothing without A.J. Green, let's be real. I mean, they do have Mixon, but can't run on
but A.J. Green allows everyone to play off. No A.J. Green, now all those linebackers, all those quarterbacks. Sorry, I just got out of the hospital. Yeah, all those running backs, all those quarterbacks, they're all going to be on the line. They're going to play up because there's no A.J. Green. Tyler Boyd can't burn nobody, so I don't think Mixon's a good play at all. I would stay completely away from him. And yes, they're going to be up. They're going to be running the ball. I'm all over that Alex Collins pick. What else you got in running back? I need to grab a sip.
If you're looking to pay up a little bit, but not too much, I like David Johnson facing Oakland. I mean,
let's call it quits on this podcast. I got David Johnson too. What's going on here? What's going on here today? We agree on everything this week. Go ahead.
Gotta make a line together. Maybe we'll get that million.
Yeah, maybe.
So the Raiders, they're the worst team against everything. They're just not good. Their offense can't do anything. So Arizona's going to be up. They're going to be running the ball. If there's ever a game for David Johnson to beat last year's David Johnson, it is this week, I believe. They allowed 54 touches in the red zone. And the red zone for the Cardinals, that's all David Johnson. There's no secondary back in touches in the red zone. Hardly in the whole game, but red zone, that's strictly David Johnson work. So
Yeah, they're at home, which a running back generally does better at home.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows that. He's David Johnson in the last 2 weeks since the coach got, new coach took over. He's had 48 touches in the last 2 games. Oakland is giving up 5 yards per carry and 7.8 yards per target to the running back. I mean, in every category you look at, David Johnson is a 100%. He is a locked and loaded cash play. And before, because sometimes you look at numbers and the numbers can add into the numbers can look so good in a situation and it can kind of be a trap. You get those players. This is not the scenario. I ran David Johnson in on Fantasy Pros. They have a little calculator that you can do based on price and based on matchup and based on all the measurables. He's the best value play this week based on price, based on what his projections would be. He is an absolute 100%. He'll be in 100% of my cash lineups this week. Another smash play. Now, David Johnson is a pay up. He's $7,900 on FanDuel. He's $7,500 on DraftKings. To pair with him, because I am paying up for both running backs. If you want to pay up for both running backs, to pair up with David Johnson, you can go, if you want to pay up, Saquon Barkley, 25 touches per game. He's at home. He's $8,800. Ezekiel Elliott, over 20 touches per game. And he's on pace for a career high in targets. He's $8,400 on FanDuel. I think you could pair them two up with David Johnson and get some nice, save some value at the quarterback. I got a few receivers if you want to save value. And if you want to pay up David Johnson, you want to pair him with Barkley or Ezekiel Elliott.
No Melvin Gordon?
Melvin Gordon.
He's 87. He's right in between.
8,900.
87.
Denver. Oh no, yeah, 89 on DraftKings. Yeah, I got DraftKings. You got FanDuel up. Yeah, John has a FanDuel slate up. I have the DraftKings slate up. So if you hear me shout a price, if I don't necessarily say it, I have the DraftKings. He has the FanDuel slate. So he's $200 difference. I don't have anything against Gordon. I played him last week. I won a lot of money off of Gordon last week. I just personally would play Barkley and Elliott over Melvin Gordon. I got, like I said, I got David Johnson locked and loaded in my lineup. I got a bunch of different lineups this week, and I either have him paired up with either Barkley or Elliott. I just didn't really look. I don't have too much stock in Melvin Gordon. I did think it's a good GPP play. As far as cash goes, I'm going Barkley and Elliott, pairing him up with David Johnson, if I decide to pay up for running back.
I've never really picked Gurley in my lineups at all this year because the price is just ridiculous. But this week, I'm definitely going to have him in a bunch. I mean, he's
Monday night, though.
Yeah, exactly why. Because I don't want to not have Gurley and then be winning a lot of money and be cheering and then watch that all.
Okay, now that's if you play the prime time. That's if you add in the Monday nighter. Now, me personally, with when I see a high scoring Sunday night and a Monday night game, I fade them.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're not picking Gurley, don't have that game.
I fade them and I play them together. So I'll play the main slate, or I'll play the 1 o'clock games or the 4 o'clock games, and I'll save the prime time. I'll play them together. Todd Gurley's gonna be in every one of my lineups when I play the prime time slate. But I'm only going to play the Sunday and Monday night. I play them together. I think that's a nice way to maximize your winnings. I don't like to drag Monday night and Sunday night in. I've learned that you can kind of win more money if you kind of break it up. Since you're playing heads up, if you want to take that strategy and play heads up, it's an easy way to break up each slate and really maximize your winnings. And Todd Gurley is a great play, no matter where you're putting him in.
This might be his best game of the season. I know that's pretty hard to tell, but
He's
playing the Chiefs. They're the best offense in the league. He wants to prove something.
Yeah, but I don't think Todd Gurley has anything to prove.
I mean, yeah, true. You're right.
But maybe Maybe he wants to prove to Pat
MVP,
Mahomes that he's
yeah.
the MVP.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he wants to prove. Sure, then why not? Yeah, I think Todd Gurley is a good cash play. If you do want to add in a Monday Nighter, try to get Todd Gurley in. I have some value. All right, so let's say Todd Gurley is expensive. This is going to gross everyone else. It gross. I threw up in my mouth before a little bit. I was thinking of this future take. Let's say you want to get Gurley in, right? Let's say you want to get Gurley and you want to get David Johnson in. Okay, now you flex or you're running back to whatever you want. You could pair him up with Dougie Fresh.
Who?
I know Dougie Fresh.
Doug Martin.
Doug Martin.
He don't call him Fresh.
Doug Martin. If you want to save some money and you want to get Gurley in and
He's
you
not that
want to
cheap
get
on
David
FanDuel.
Johnson in, he is not that cheap. On DraftKings, he is almost close to min salary, I believe.
Oh.
Doug Martin is $4,500. That's min salary.
Yeah,
I know. On FanDuel, he's
62.
$6,200 now. On DraftKings, Arizona's 29th against the run. They have a very good passing. Everyone knows that. Patrick Peterson. And he's actually getting double-digit touches. So, as gross as that is, I think he's going to be in a good game script. I really do think he sees the ball 15 times this game. And even at 6,200, that's 18 points value. That's a little high. So I guess he's more of a DraftKings only play.
Yeah, I wouldn't play him in FanDuel.
Now, okay, so I got, you don't like, okay, how about, now check the injury report. I don't think he's playing, last I checked, because he's not practicing. If Marvin Jones doesn't play.
He's not playing.
Okay, he's not playing. Perfect. I got my injury guy over here this week. I'm a little behind on injuries this week. Theo Riddick. Without him, in the games without Marvin Jones this year, Theo Riddick has not seen below 6 targets. I got him in as 6 to 8 targets this week. So if there's no Marvin Jones and you want to get David Johnson and you want to get Todd Gurley in, and let's say you are playing Sunday to Monday, Theo Riddick, Doug Martin, nice ways
Yeah, Theo's 51.
to save some money.
FanDuel.
Yeah, 51 on FanDuel, and he's min salary. I don't even have to look. He's min salary on DraftKings. So I think those are good plays. Alex Collins is a nice way to save money. What do you? Do you have any? I have one more little value play. What do you got, Deron? You got any value plays for the running backs? Let's see if you got this one right too.
What?
Well, since we're on every other pick, you have a value play.
Value?
At running backs, you're on Gurley, you're on, David Johnson. I know you're on Barkley, I don't have to ask. You got a Savory. If you don't, I have another one.
I mean, he's not really savory, but I do like Phil Lindsay this week.
Philip Lindsay is I think he's a great play this week.
I mean,
Nice way to save money on running back.
They're back to that 3-headed backfield, but
Nah, Philip Lindsay is the leader of that. He's going to get double-digit touches.
he never got out-touched by either of the running backs
Nope.
at all, except for the week he got ejected. But
Yeah, that doesn't count. The
Yeah,
weeks that
doesn't
he's
count
been
to
in
me.
there. No, I was on Royce Freeman all year. I drafted him in our league. And, it hurts me to see Philip Lindsay outshine him, but you know what? I've made a lot of money on Philip Lindsay and Daly this year, so I think he's a great play. In that same range, I thought you were going to say this first, but in that same range, so Philip Lindsay's 5,200 on DraftKings. What is he? I know he's like 59, right? On
64.
FanDuel? 64, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this player is 5,900, so he's cheaper on FanDuel. And he is, I just saw him, 4,800 on DraftKings, is Mr. Dion Lewis. You got Dion Lewis, you didn't even say it. See, Dion Lewis, he is, believe it or not, getting 20 touches a game.
Yeah.
He's, in the last couple weeks, he's got some 20-point weeks. I think the last 4 weeks he's gotten 2 20-point games. And Indianapolis has allowed the 5th most, 71 receptions to running backs this year, the 5th most. So I do think they're going to have to throw the ball. I know the Titans, they're on a high right now. We beat Tom Brady. Well, guess what? You're up against it may not look it, but you're up against another high-profile offense in the Colts. I mean, Andrew Luck is healthy. That's all you need to know. Don't matter whoever else. Andrew Luck is healthy. The Colts are going to come out firing. And with Luck healthy, you can never count the Colts out. I know they haven't been too good record-wise. But I do think this is a game Indianapolis actually wins, so I do think they're going to need to throw to keep up. And Lewis is game script proof. And believe it or not, Indianapolis' red zone defense against the running back is pretty good.
They never let up a 100-yard game for the running back position this season yet, which is crazy.
Well,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
So they're the only one.
Which is
Them and the
Derrick Henry
Saints.
is going to bother, not really Lewis.
Yeah, it's not. That's what they're talking about. Lewis is 71 receptions, so I think Lewis is a great play, and I think he can get 20 points this week. Sure, why not? They're going to have to throw the ball. He's game script proof. That's it. I'm out. I'm
done. That was my last one.
Nothing else at the running back position? Okay, I'm going to give you two more. These are GPP picks. Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. Alvin Kamara is at home against the Eagles, the 7th best run defense, okay? But we all know Kamara's not really a running back. He's a receiver in a running back's body, or whatever you want to say, or a running back in a receiver's body, whatever you want to say. But
no, you had it right the first time.
I had it right the first time. Whatever. We all know who Alvin Kamara is. He is the outside Tyreek Hill and Todd Gurley. Alvin Kamara is the cheat code. So you got that cheat code in there. He's averaging 6 targets a game. He's 8,900 on FanDuel and 8,200 on DraftKings. I think it's a good GPP play because, like I said, I think people are going to be on Gurley, Barkley, Elliott, Kareem Hunt. The Terminator. The Terminator. The Terminator.
Who's the Terminator?
Connor.
Oh.
Connor. I think it's like John Connor, right?
Yeah.
John Connor's Terminator. He's James Connor. Whatever.
Works. I like it.
Yeah, the Terminator. So, I think people are going to be on them. So I think Kamara's going to go under-owned. And I really, believe it or not, I really think McCaffrey's going to go under-owned. Because I don't think people are going to want... He's got 3 touchdowns 2 weeks in a row. And I don't think people are going to want to... I'm sorry, 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns 2 weeks in a row. And I don't think people are going to want to chase those points. I have CMC down as another... you can play me. He's safe enough to play in cash. It's not necessarily chasing points when you're talking about a player of McCaffrey's ability. They're facing the 28th best run defense, worst run defense, but however you want to say it, the terrible run defense. He's at over 30 points the last 2 weeks. He's over 20 touches, 5 targets a game. There's really nothing not to like about Christian McCaffrey, and with his blow-up potential, I do have him on my GPP list this week. You good on running back, right?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, we're going to move on to wide receiver here. Johnny boy, what do you got for me on wide receiver for week 11?
I'm paying up. I like Odell. I mean, like I said before, Eli was looking good. Odell never received under double-digit targets except for 1 week, which he had 9, which is still good for a receiver. He's Eli's go-to guy when he's in trouble, or he just throws it to Barkley.
I like that take. I know Fitzpatrick played bad last week, and I know the Giants haven't been good all year, and I've really been hating on the Giants this year. I'm sorry, Giant fans. I'm a Jet fan, so you can make fun of me in the comment section. I do think this game, however, I think it's a sneaky shootout potential. I have Odell down. He's averaging 12 targets over the last 6 games. He's over 20 fantasy points per game. That's in half-point PPR, so he's even better in PPR leagues. Tampa Bay is the 29th best pass defense. I think OBJ is great. He's 8,400 on DraftKings. He's 85 on FanDuel. I think that is a fantastic play. In one of my lineups, I actually I paid down at running back. I put in Deion Lewis and I think Theo Riddick. And the receivers I were able to get in cash was Odell Beckham, who's a great cash pick. Michael Thomas, which I don't have to say anything about him. The guy's got I think he's up to 93% catch rate. I mean, the guy's insane. He's also averaging double-digit touches. He hasn't gotten he averages just under 20 points per game. That's for the season. Philadelphia's 23rd against the pass. That's a great cash pick. And your boy, DeAndre Hopkins, I'm sorry for all you Redskins fans out there, but Josh Norman's washed. He's terrible.
Yeah, he's done.
I mean, the Redskins are 5th best against the run, so you're not going to run against them. And, I don't even know who it's going to be this week. Is it going to be Miller? Is it going to be Blue? Who the hell knows? It is a good matchup for the pass. They're 25th pass defense, and I really do think Demaryius Thomas helps DeAndre Hopkins more. I do like Kiki Qt. I mean, Will Fuller's irrelevant now. But yeah, he's irrelevant now. So, I even if Will Fuller was there, DT's still the best receiver out of put D Hop out of the 3 of them.
Yeah.
QT, so I think he opens up the field more for Hopkins. So out of 3 of them, if you want to do 2 out of the 3, if you want to do all 3 like I did, I don't know if I'm going to stick with that yet. I don't know. Like I said, Theo Riddick, that's one of my pukey takes. I don't know if I have the guts to pull the trigger, but if you want to play 2 of them, Michael Thomas, Odell, D-Hop, they're all phenomenal picks. What do you think?
I like that. I had D-Hop in the last 8 games. He had 6 touchdowns. And like you were saying, he's playing Washington, who hasn't been good. Norman hasn't been good. Norman, he shadowed Julio and Odell. Julio went 7 catches for 121 yards, and Odell had 8 catches for 136 yards. Julio also had a touchdown, and Julio doesn't get touchdowns, and he got a touchdown.
I think he's up for, I think Julio is a sneaky GPP play because of his, people don't play him because of that touchdowns, but I think that positive regression is going to hit, and Julio's going to have one of those 3 touchdown games any day now. I know against Dallas does limit the big play, which makes him lower owned. So I do think that makes a good GPP play because he's going to get 100 yards. I mean, he pretty much eats 100 yards. He's, the only person better than him with getting that 100 yards is Thielen. So, I mean, he eats with that 100 yards. So, I don't think there's a problem paying up this week. I really don't think you can go wrong. Tyreek Hill's up there. Right. Thielen, I mean, I know we're splitting hairs here at the top of the roster. I mean, if you want to play, if you want like a nice GPP roster, I had a GPP roster in. I actually had Eli, Odell, and I brought it back with Mike Evans. Mike Evans, I think, is a sneaky GPP play. The Janoris Jenkins, the slowest rabbit I've ever seen. He's allowing a touchdown every 9.8 targets.
He's older now.
That's insane. I mean, he's been hard. Well, it's not his age. It's ever since that ankle surgery, he's been terrible. So is it his age, or is it because he just had a devastating injury? It happens all the time in sports. People get that devastating injury, and they just can't fully be themselves. I personally think he should switch to the slot. I think he'll have better, being such a physical corner, I think he'll have better success in the slot. I think the Giants should switch him, but I'm not the head coach. And Evans actually sees double-digit targets in his last 4 games, so I think that's a nice play. So let's get off that. Who we paying down for? Who are you paying down for a wide receiver or mid-range or we discussed all the paying up. What else you got?
Mid-range guy like Kenny Galladay. He's 6,400. Marvin Jones isn't playing. Golden Tate got traded, so I mean the workload's pretty much all for him now. I mean the matchup isn't really that good.
Well, I don't think Carolina's got a number 1 corner, so he might be all right.
They only had 6 games that led up. No, 6 receivers that led up top 24 performances.
Okay.
Which really is not that good, but
so right there with that stat right there, you play Galladay in GPPs. You don't play him in cash with a stat like that. Play him in GPPs because he's got the upside.
I disagree.
He's got the talent.
I don't know everyone in cash. No Marvin Jones. Last week when Marvin Jones got injured, he saw a season high 13 targets.
But
career high too.
Did he produce? He didn't. He had I think 16 fantasy points.
Yeah,
which is not going to. That'll do it in cash. That won't.
I mean,
really,
Stafford was having an off game too, though. He wasn't really throwing the ball.
He's having an off season.
Yeah,
All right, if you have the balls to play him in cash, more power to you. I think with that stat, I think is a GPP play. In that range, I do have Cooper. I'm going to pair him up with Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper. What?
I like Cooper this week.
Yeah, Amari Cooper. Atlanta, like I've been saying, Atlanta allows a 70% completion rate in coverage. They allow over 8 yards. They allow almost 9 yards per pass play. A 6.3 touchdown rate. Cooper's, like I said, 19 targets in the last 2 games since he's been on Dallas, and he actually is my KO pick of the week. I think this is Cooper's prove-it game. I think Cooper goes out. You heard it here first. I think he has 30 points this week. I think this is the game you go swinging with Cooper. I'm going to try to get him in every single cash and GPP lineup. That's what a KO pick is. You can play him in any format. I think this is the game where he finally goes off and he finally looks like the Amari Cooper of old. You can kind of see it. He's on the verge of that breakout. I do think that it happens this week in Atlanta. The worst pass defense in the league. I mean, you can't find the stat to even help that argument. I know it's hard to project someone for 30 points, and I'm not projecting him for 30 points. Don't get mad at me when he doesn't get 30. I'm saying he has the upside to throw down 30 points this week. I think he's, like I said, he's my KO pick, so smash him in GPP, smash him in cash.
Yeah, he's had 18 targets in his 2 games with the Cowboys so far.
19 targets.
With 11 catches for 133 yards and a touchdown, which they're not like outstanding numbers, but for someone just learning the system who just got there, those are really good numbers.
Yeah, and
he's still learning. He should be a lot more familiar by week 3 with the Cowboys.
Absolutely.
Week 4 actually, because he had to bye with them too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you 100%.
What do you think? All right, so in that same range, I'm going to give you 3 players. I want you to pick 2, or if you agree with all 3 of them. Corey Davis, Sterling Shepard, and Golden Tate.
Yeah, I like Golden Tate a lot this week. I mean, the Saints, they really don't have a capable slot corner. The corner that they use, they allow a 70% catch rate with 13.8 yards per target and a touchdown every 9 targets.
The Saints?
Yeah.
So you're talking about Lattimore? Oh no, I guess Lattimore would be Jeffries. Oh, the slot corner.
Slot corner. And he's a slot. And believe it or not, Golden Tate plays better in a dome than in not a dome. In a dome, he played 49 games total. He averaged 5.9 receptions and 67 yards per game. And when not playing in the dome, on 71 games, he averaged 3.5 reception for 44 yards a game. All the signs to me, they're all pointing towards Golden Tate having a big day. Just the only concern I have is still the new system.
Nah.
But
the slot, believe it or not, is easier to learn than the outside receiver because your slot. So your routes to run are not as big as when you're on the outside.
Yeah.
And generally when you're a slot, you're not on the field for most of the blocking schemes. So slot is generally the easier to play out of all the receiver. I'm not saying receiver is easy to play, but slot, you know what Golden Tate is. Okay, he's been in the league forever. They're gonna give him. I guarantee you, when he came to the team, he said, "Yo, Tate, what routes do you like to run?" And he told him, and I guarantee they shortened the playbook for him and gave him X amount of, routes to run. So I think he's more than. I don't think the playbook or the plays are going to be an issue. I think Tate is a fantastic cash play. Let's say you want to pay up for running back. I think the 3 that I mentioned are 3 receivers you can put in your cash game lineup if you decide to have David Johnson and Barkley, or Barkley and Zeke, or Gurley and Barkley, and you want to pay down. I think Tate, Cooper, Sterling Shepard, Corey Davis, they're all right there, jumbled up, all in the same price range at least on DraftKings, ranging from $56 to $5,200, all of them. So I think that's a great way to save some money at wide receiver if you want to pay up for running back, or even pay up for quarterback, which I generally don't do. But I mean, if you want to pay up for quarterback, sure. Nice way to save some money. Anything else for wide receiver?
No, I'm going to save that for the savory segment.
All right, I actually have a little sneak peek. I have a GPP saver. First ever. My GPP saver pick is actually Nelson Aguilar. Because of everything you just mentioned, this is going to be a shootout. There's no question. It's going to be a shootout. Both teams cannot defend the pass, and they both defend the run very well. Nelson Aguilar, now in these 2 games with Tate, he's had 7 targets and 6 targets. Okay, he's only $5,300 on FanDuel, and he's min salary on DraftKings. He's a beautiful way to save money in your GPP so you can get these higher priced guys. What do you think about that?
I hate Aguilar. But I mean, I guess with the reason, I didn't think he was getting that many targets. But
yeah, I mean,
I guess why not?
7 targets
For GPP, yeah.
Sure.
Why not?
Well, for GPP, throw them in there, you know. All right, we're gonna move on.
I'm surprised. Surprised you didn't bring up what's his name? D-Jack playing the Giants.
Revenge game. Well, not revenge, but he
Giants.
loves to torch them game.
The Giants killer.
No, I'm not really. He's not a bad pick. It's just D-Jax looks lost out there to me.
Good,
I mean, he's not playing. He's still 4th in snaps. He's not really. You know, he just, like I say, he just looks lost out there. He doesn't look like he's like a part of the offense out there. I mean, he did get targeted more last week than he did the last 3, but yeah, I kind of fade D-Jax. If I'm going to play anyone from Tampa Bay, it's going to be Mike Evans. I'm even fading my boy Godwin.
I was going to say no Godwin.
Yeah, he did have a good game last week. I mean, I guess Godwin is a way to save money. Like I said, if you want to get Godwin and Shepard as opposed to Odell and Evans, or split, 1-1. Yeah, but no D-Jax. I'm like I said, he's not playing a lot. He's not playing that many snaps. All right, moving on to tight end. I only have 2. So what do you got for me at tight end?
I'll start with Evan Ingram. Start with the Giants.
It's a good way to get exposure to that game. Pay down for time. He's 4,100 on DraftKings.
He is 58 on FanDuel. When he receives 6 or more targets, he averages 50 yards and over a 50% shot of a touchdown. But when receiving less than those targets, he gets 20 yards and no touchdowns. And as I was saying before, I think this is a good game for Eli. This is a good game for their passing. So I see him getting way more than, maybe not way more, but more than 6 targets. Tampa Bay, they've given up the 2nd most points to the tight end all year. And they've let up the most yards to the tight end at 701 yards. So I think this is a great game for Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
Maybe back to last year's Ingram because he hasn't showed it yet this year.
Maybe. Yeah, I think it's a nice way to get some cheap exposure to that game. Yeah, that's nice. In cash, I know he's a little pricey on FanDuel. I believe he's like 7,900 on FanDuel.
Who?
Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz is 76.
76. He's 66 on DraftKings. That's kind of where I'm gonna try to go in cash. Like I said, 31st ranked pass defense, the Saints, and Zach Ertz. So Zach Ertz is on pace for 183 targets this season. There's only been one tight end in the last 5 years that had anywhere near that, and it was 133 targets. So that's 50 more targets. So
do you know who it was?
No, I don't know. No, I don't know who it was. But Zach Ertz, like 183 targets, is just I'm sorry, the target was Gronkowski.
Oh, it was Gronk.
Gronk, yeah, Gronk. I'm sorry, I'm in a little bit of a fog. Gronk was 133. It was actually like literally 5 years ago. So, 183 targets is just insane. I'm really going to try to get him in cash. If you cannot afford him, I know everyone's going to hate this, but I'm going to go Jack Doyle. So if I'm going to pay up at tight end, it's Zach Ertz. If I'm going to pay down, it's Jack Doyle. Yes, Eric Ebron, 3 touchdowns last week. Yes. But when Jack Doyle's healthy, he's a starting tight end, and he's healthy. He's getting like 6.5 targets, I think, when he's healthy. So, it's a tough defense, Tennessee, against the pay. They're actually a very good defense all around. And usually, when you're up against those defenses, you kind of hit the tight end and the running back a little more. And I do think they are 18th against the tight end. So I do think Jack Doyle, if I'm going to pay down. What else you got at tight end?
If I'm looking at pay way down, I like my boy Ricky Seals-Jones. I mean, the new coaching system that they got over there, they seem to like him over there because
he's getting 7 targets a game, right?
Well, the last 2 weeks he had 13 targets. That's what
I'm saying for the season. His season average is 7. You wouldn't think that because he hasn't been really productive. His last 2 weeks, 13 targets. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, he had the last week he had 9 targets, which was a career high for him too. And yeah, so the past 2 weeks he ran 77 routes with 13 targets, and he's playing the worst team against.
So that's 7 targets a week. Yeah, that's. I do like Ricky Seals-Jones. That's like a bottom. He's 2,900 on DraftKings.
Really?
He's like bottom. Cheap. Almost min salary for a tight end.
He's 52 on FanDuel, which is.
No, that's close to min.
Yeah, close to
45 is min salary on FanDuel. So, yeah, he's close to min on both sites. Ricky Seals-Jones. All right, so I retract. I agree. I retract my last statement. I think if you're paying up your Ertz, you're paying down, you're going Ricky Seals-Jones.
They changed it. 4,000 is min now for FanDuel.
4,000 is min for tight end?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So he's still close to min salary, 5,200. So
for starting one.
Yeah. Anything else? What about Austin Hooper?
Nah.
7 targets a game. 10 targets last week. I think he's a nice GPP one. Nice GPP play. It's a good way to get exposure to that game if you want.
I like Jared Cook. No Martavis this week. Jordy's still banged up.
Arizona is very good against the pass.
I know, but
very good against tight ends.
Last week, where was this? Yeah, last week he played the Chargers, which is a good against the tight end too. They're up there, and he received 9 targets. Which, I mean, a tight end getting that amount of target share, like, still, I would like. Because, I mean, tight end's a crapshoot pretty much.
Yeah.
So, one of them getting 9 targets, why not?
Why not? GPP or cash? Trust him in cash?
I don't trust him in cash.
So, GPP?
GPP.
So, where are you going in cash? Ertz, I guess Ertz and Seals? Ertz up, Seals down?
Ingram and Seals, yeah.
Ingram and Seals. Okay, so he's Ingram, Seals. I'm Ertz and Seals in cash. GPP, I'm going Doyle, Hooper, and actually O.J. Howard. I know Fitz doesn't throw to the tight end, but he did have that 125-point game, and, like I said, Giants and Tampa Bay going to be a shootout, so that's a nice way to get exposure, and can't ever count out Kelsey. So, on to defense. My defense is, like, nuts. It's crazy because their max salary on FanDuel and they're close to min on DraftKings is the Texans. The 2,600 on DraftKings. I know they're like 47. That is a huge margin. So I'm going to say that Texans is a DK only pick, being 2,600 against Washington. Like we said before, Alex Smith, he couldn't put up points against the worst defense in the league, Atlanta. You think he's going to put up defense against a comparable defense in Houston? I don't think it's happening. I think Houston's a great play this week. What do you got for me at defense?
I like the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, they're playing Cincinnati. Like I said before, Cincinnati's really nothing without AJ Green. They've been one of the top defenses all season. So
how much are they on FanDuel?
They're 42.
So they're up there, so you're paying up for defense. They're 30, they're 32 on DraftKings if you're paying up. So what if you're paying down? I think it's a great defense if you're paying up. So you got Hughes on FanDuel. If you're paying up for defense, you're going Ravens and Texans. If you're paying down at defense on DraftKings, you're going Texans. And you have a pay down on.
I like the New Orleans Saints playing Philly.
No, really?
Yeah.
Carson Wentz?
Yeah.
He's going to shred them. I don't know if that's a good defense.
I really only think Golden Tate's going to produce from Philly.
I don't know if I would trust that.
That's what I'd trust in them.
That's a ballsy one.
They're the second cheapest, 33 on.
Yeah, they're
FanDuel.
cheapest for a reason.
I mean, they're not that.
Yeah, they're 2,100. I don't know about that. If I'm paying down for defense, I'm actually going Jaguars because of Ben on the road. Yes, Antonio Brown is the only one to shred the Jaguars, but I don't think anyone else can. The Cardinals, I think, is a really good defense.
Yeah, Cardinals are a good matchup.
That's really it. Defense is tough this week. Panthers. How much are the Panthers on FanDuel?
4,000 flat.
Defense kind of tough. Looks like you're going to have to pay up this week. If you do want to bottom it out, like I said, Jacksonville. I wouldn't do Saints, but hey, if you want to follow John's advice,
what about the Giants?
I'm totally off the Saints. No, I'm off the Giants. That game's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout. I'm off shoot. I stay away from it. If I even think it's going to be a shootout, I stay away from the defense. Yeah, defense is tough. All right. Yeah, I would just try to go Houston on DraftKings and or Jaguars if you want to pay down. All right. Moving on to our savory, salivating picks. What do you got for me for our savory picks?
Josh Reynolds.
Oh God.
He's 5,000. I mean, Kupp is out for the season, and the 2 games without Kupp, Reynolds, he ran 120. Well, he was in 120 snaps compared to Cooks, who had 125, and Woods with 126. So he's obviously that third guy in their 3-receiver system, no question. And he's a good young talent. I mean, not a favorable match. It is a favorable matchup for him. So I see him as a very good play in cash and GPP.
All right, my savory pick. Actually, I have a few of them, and they are pretty much DraftKings. Kind of, this is boring too, and that's Alex Collins. We discussed it before. He is 4,400 on DraftKings, and I just lost him. And Dion Lewis, 4,800 on DraftKings. Those are both bottom out running backs. On FanDuel, if you want my saver pick on FanDuel, I'm going back to the well. Traquan Smith. On FanDuel, you want to save some money. You want to get exposure to that shootout. That's why I'm staying away from those defenses. Traquan Smith, nice way to get exposure to the Saints. He is the number 2 receiver over there. Number 2 in targets. Number 2. I know he's a little up and down. He's a little more of a GPP, but in cash, I can trust him in cash. He's, 5,100, so he gets you 10 points. I know you want 3x, but if he can get you 10 points, you're pretty happy with that because he really opens up a lot of salary. And like I said, if you're on DraftKings, you're throwing Alex Collins, Doug Martin, and Dion Lewis. You try to get one of them. Nice way to save money. They're all sub 4,800. Another one, if you want to save money in GPPs, another savory pick is Mark Ingram. You want to save money in GPPs, not much to say about Mark Ingram. He's up and down, but he can score 3 touchdowns in a drop of a hat. He did it his first week back, so I think it's a nice way in GPPs. You want to save some money. Mark Ingram, nice savory pick.
You're going back to your well with Traquan, so I'm going to go back to my well with DJ Moore at 53.
Ooh, he's got a tough matchup.
Why?
DJ Moore's got a tough matchup this week.
Slay's going to be on Funches.
What?
Slay's going to be on Funches.
Yeah, Detroit's actually really good against the Pats. Eighth best against the Pats. It's pretty good.
No.
It's a pretty good defense, yes.
Oh,
I know my stats. All right. Speaking of stats, let's go to our Staten Stack Attack. Where are we going for our Stack Attacks?
Obviously, I've been mentioning them all podcast. The New York.
No, that's mine. Because I've been New
York Football Giants.
I've been against the Giants. All right, I'll give you the Giants stack. Who are you stacking on the Giants?
Eli, Odell, and Evan Ingram.
Really? No Barkley? Not their best player. All right.
Not if I'm having. If I was to put Barkley in, I would take Ingram out.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with that stack. However, one small change. I'm either grabbing Odell or Barkley. I like that same lineup, but I don't want Odell and Barkley. Yes, they both can smash at the same time, but the probability of both of them hitting 30 points isn't that great, so I would kind of get one or the other. I definitely love the Giants stack. Eli, I would actually go Eli, Barkley, Shepard, or Eli, Odell, and Ingram. I think that's a great, nice stacks. My stack attack, I got a couple. We all know the Saints. Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, Traquan Smith, Alvin Kamara. I ain't going to mention much about it. That's a great stack if you can afford to pay up.
You like Traquan Smith still?
Yeah.
After that goose?
Yeah, that's fine. But my real, pay up stack. My real stack attack is Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper. Stacking the two of them together, they're both cheap. You can get them in any lineup, and I think you can play them in any format. Dak's going to be low owned because he's not that flashy kind of guy. I don't think he's the GPP play, but you can't. I guess it's a cash tag. I don't think Dak is a GPP play, but if you want to play Cooper, all formats. But Dak, Cooper, that is my stack attack. My other stack attack would be Wentz, Jeffrey, and Tate would be my other stack attack. That's a little bit more expensive than Dak and Cooper. Not much, just a little more, because Wentz is actually a really cheap quarterback, so I'm stacking the Eagles. Stay away from the running backs, just the quarterbacks. If you want to throw Zeke in there with the Cowboys stack, sure. I like players a little better than Zeke, but if you're playing a GPP lineup and you want to get the 3 Cowboys in there, sure. Why not? So, anything else before we close out the podcast?
It's good for me.
All right, so once again, congratulations, JaredMerrill. Contact us on our email account. I will link it in the description. Just let us know your contact information, how you want us. I don't know exactly where you're located. If you're around us, we're located in Long Island. So if you're around the area, you want to chat with us, whether you want to pick it up, drop it off, ship it out, whatever you want. It's your jersey. We're just holding it on to you for you.
What's your address so everyone knows?
My address is... See you next week!